Virgo. Good morning. I'm going to wait for you guys to get in the room. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to come in so YouTube will let you know that I am on live. Virgo, we're going to go ahead and get into the reading. I want to make sure that you guys can see properly because now it looks crooked. It looks a little crooked here. Just a tad bit. All right, Virgo. Virgo, we're going to go ahead and do a normal reading. We are going to be using some cards that we have not used in a while, which is going to be from the Tea Leaf Oracle. I know some of you guys are most likely at home with your family. You're getting ready with your family. Kids are out of school. Some of you guys are off work and you are excited about the next 2 weeks, really. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get into the read. I want to say hello to a few of you guys who are here. Hey, Kay. Hey, Dee. Hey, Net. Hey, Taisheem. Hey, Carmen. Hey, guys. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. Let's see what's going to come out. Well, yeah, we are going to be using the Tea Leaf Oracles. Okay. Like we haven't used this in forever. Okay. Like forever. And I think I've told you guys this before that these cards generally, they can stretch out pretty far. That I can tell you, they have a tendency to stretch out pretty far with this. But I wanted to see what comes out, and I can usually tell by the position of the cards if it's something that you're going to be experiencing in the future or if it's something that you're experiencing now. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. We're going to see what's going to come out here for you, Virgo. Now, let me see if I can do this literally with the camera without knocking down the camera. Let's see. Maybe past, present energy. Let's see past, present energy. Let's see if it'll pop out like that. Past, present. Let's see. Past, present. What is Virgo experiencing? Past, present card came out saying that you guys, it says, be careful. Do not take risk. Now, we only read for love and money. And with this claw, it is a caution here. Now, I pretty much said past and present, and I think for some of you guys, you know for a fact that in the past that you should have been warned, or if you were given a warning, you would have moved differently. And that is going to be with love and money. And I'll say it that way. I feel like if you were warned, you would have been moving differently. Okay. I feel like this is a very vulnerable card. So this is basically saying that there's some vulnerabilities that are surrounding you with money, with love. It could be with other stuff too. It could have something to do with how you're thinking. Maybe with your health. Okay. Even think about that. It could be like your health. Like maybe you guys are drinking or eating things you shouldn't be eating, that type of thing. It is a warning, which will make sense. It's a warning. Okay. So I feel like that has been your past energy and you're kind of presently still in that, but it's also a future thing too. So moving forward, it says, don't be taking risks that you can't afford. Okay. Don't be jumping into relationships and connections with people just because they're cute and you know that they are all off the charts, right? Their attitude, the way that they move, what they say. All right. Don't be making these risky investments with your money, especially if you are into speculation. Let me see what else. This is for Virgo. Dissatisfaction with life. All right. Let's put these down for a second because I don't know if I'll be able to show you. So in the present moment, in the present position, you guys have, I ain't liking my life right now. And I'm not saying that you don't like life. Some of you guys have a gripe, right? Some of you guys have real complaints about what has been happening with your life, what's been going on, what you've been wanting, and what you haven't been able to achieve, right? And even with this whole cracked cup, to me, it just feels like it's something that has fallen apart. For some of you, you feel like your life has fallen apart. I think we talked about this before, right? Isn't it crazy to see that actually like illustrated in that way? Okay. There was a saying where it says that you can like if you're going to lose your mind, and it said, oh, this person cracked, right? Okay, they're cracked, like they just like, I can't take it, right? Some of you guys have been at this place, and it's a cup, right? It's a cup, so it holds feelings and emotions. And so for some of you, it's just been a disastrous emotionally. Okay. But either way, yeah, I do see, this whole dissatisfaction. Now, the next one here is bull. Bull. It says, do not back down for opposition. Show strength and fortitude. I don't think I know too many Virgos that would, even if it means losing something. Because now, I always look at this card as bully, because it says, do not back down from opposition. Now, opposition doesn't have to be a person. Opposition could be planetarily, right? Well, you guys are being opposed. Not everybody but the house is. It depends on where Virgo is in your chart, right? You're being opposed. And this could have caused some, obstacles, issues. It could have caused all of that, right? Saturn caused delays, difficulties, hardships. This card in particular is saying, do not back down from that. Keep going. That's basically what it's telling you. It's telling you to keep going, because life can bully you. The first card talked about being cracked, and then the next card kind of talked about the reason why you may be feeling that way. Why? What is the reason why you may be feeling like your life has fallen apart? Now, this could happen in relationships. So for some of you, if this is only relationship based, it is you standing on your square, right? This is you standing 10 toes. Don't back down because someone wants you to accept something that you refuse to accept. Either way, you guys get what I'm saying. Now, this is sitting in your present position. And you see how that bull is right there, stubborn? Nuh-uh. No, you're not going to cross here. Now, some of you guys could have blocked someone. You told someone, get out of here. Don't come back. Don't talk to me. Sometimes it's family members, right? All right. Sometimes it's family members. But this to me feels like this is I'm going no contact. I ain't picking up the phone. Don't ask me to do nothing. Okay. And it's telling you, do not back down, especially if someone is trying to bully you. This is what this is basically saying. I actually think this is pretty fun. You know what I want to do? Let's go backwards for 1 second. Let's go backwards for 1 second, because we're really going to get the future here. Let's get one more for the past, because we see what's happening here. If 2 comes out, we'll get another one for present. Yep, 2 came out. Uh-oh. Reconciliation. We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's see what came out here. Ooh, some of you guys were in a committed relationship. These are really good cards. Oh my gosh. Here it says successful outcome to your problem. Got it. Okay. Here it says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Makes sense. And here a ring. A marriage will take place either romantically or business. Now, I will say, let's start with this one because we haven't talked about the money yet. We talked about the whole thing with being careful with taking risk. Makes sense with that ring. All right. Remember what I said, investments when it comes down to you, starting businesses or putting too much in your business. This is, unfortunately, sometimes people start businesses and they forget about the overhead. Overhead is what pretty much destroy people, businesses, hands down. They don't think about it, and all of a sudden they don't have enough to pay the employees, don't have enough to pay themselves, that type of stuff. And this is what I feel like some of you guys may have experienced with this whole ring thing. Now, when it comes to a relationship, some of you guys were in a full-blown relationship. I'm not going to make this match your life. I'm going to match it to the people that is possibly here. A ring is a commitment. A ring is we were married. We were in a long-term committed relationship. Someone gave you a ring because they said, I wanted to marry you. We were engaged, but something didn't happen. Something didn't work out. Okay? Something didn't work. Now, it says just yesterday or the week before, you were in your feelings, basically saying, well, hey, I want to love. I want a loving connection. I want someone and who's going to love me so we can have kids, so we can have a family, or even if it's dependent on what you consider to be family, maybe, just you and your person, you, him, her, whoever, will be considered to be a family. Either way, this card says it's an emotionally secure card. And it's funny because at one point, I feel like you were okay emotionally. And remember, we talked about that with the whole cracked cup. We talked about it like, something happened. And what happens when a cup is cracked? All the feelings and emotions spill out. So I do believe that for a lot of you, you guys were living pretty nicely. You guys were pretty good. Or maybe you were securely, safely loving somebody and reality set in. Okay, something happened. All right, here with this crack card. Now, you guys had this whole key. Did you move? Did you get a car? Okay. I feel like this is more so tangible. I do believe that success will come. I do believe that. But I'm wondering if this is basically saying that you guys got a new apartment, or if you got, to me, this would be something that will open a door. Maybe your own business, something like that. Okay. And maybe business did not, I'm talking about actual like sit down business. And you guys were able to open up your business. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, it specifically talks about reconciliation. Now, this is maybe this was whole back and forth reconciling with someone romantically, that type of stuff. I feel like in the future, this is a reading. Let's go ahead. Let's get one card for present. Let's see. Presently for Virgo. Present. There we go. Someone who's fair in May. Interesting. Now, I don't just use that card because that is a month card. But something could happen by May, which is funny because I've been saying that. Didn't I say April or May? We've been saying that in the reads, right? Interesting. It says this is someone who is a good person. I don't really go necessarily with the complexion because a lot of people ain't necessarily come across anyone who is blonde necessarily. But it could be someone who has gray hair, someone who's older, okay? Someone who may have lighter skin, but I feel like this is saying someone who is good to you, someone who will be good to you, okay? Let's see, present. Now, I feel like that's future. That's what I feel. Could be now, though. Here it says misunderstanding. And then you have April. There, you cannot be, look at this. Look, isn't this what we've been talking about? What was the 2 months that we've talked about? April and May. Those are the 2 months that we talked about. We even said it starts around February. I said February is going to be a very big month for most of you, but I skipped March really, and I said April and May is going to be, go back, you guys, and see what I said. I still hold fast. So those are going to be the most positive months. I don't know why I keep seeing the same thing no matter what cards I pull. And it's interesting because I never really had like words on it. We just went to the month. We said, oh, what's going to happen in February? February seemed like it was pretty good. Maybe still getting over some things. And then April and May was a really positive energy here for you. So I definitely see future for that. And misunderstandings, that can be present because you are going around friends and family this week. Or you're already in some type of situation with someone here with this misunderstanding. Okay, so just be mindful with the way that you move over this next week, even the next 2 weeks really, but I would say over the next week, because this would be considered in a present window. when you're around people who you love, right? You still got the whole bull there. You got someone in your family. You got someone who's stubborn as shit. You know how they go, right? And it's kind of my way, the highway energy with some people within a family. You're going to have some people that are going to crack you up, right? They're going to be, making you laugh, that type of stuff. But either way, I do believe that there could be some issue here with the misunderstanding because, like I said before, it's a present energy. Let's go ahead. Let's get future. Let's get future. 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 Ooh, 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 ooh. Future. Okay. Candle, you will be shown the way. First card that came out here for you was goal-oriented person. Now, truthfully, this could actually be where you're headed as far as like, I was about to say it's going to be somebody else. I know for a fact it is another person. But if we're going to talk about you, I just see you are so focused. We talked about that whole focus energy too. Oh my God. I remember when we talked about the focus energy. You see how it says you are on target for what you're wanting? So we're saying in the future, whatever it is that you're aiming for, okay, you're going to be right on target with that. I love the fact that it says a goal-oriented person. I also feel like there's someone who can come around you, who could be around you, who gets things done. This is someone who could be an employee, especially if you have a business. We talked about that. This could be a friend. Friends, have you ever come across someone who was just so, jippery? And I would never forget this one girl. I don't even know where she at, but she was like probably the best persons I've ever met. She was just always just getting stuff done. And I actually had one of my best friends was like that. Knew how to like create things and fix things in the house. She knew how to decorate. She was such a good person. Had her issues, right? You could come across people like that in the future. Okay, so not just like dealing with work employees, but it could also be friends too. But it could also be a love interest. This means that you can come across someone who may have their own business. Maybe they have goals. Maybe they're trying to, own property. Okay. You're going to come across that. So this is what's happening with you. And I also feel like this is what's going to be going on with you meeting or coming across people. Interesting, because that could be true. Because here you got handshake. The next card here it says a meeting with a stranger could be important. I'm just going to kind of leave that wide open. I have no idea what this could mean. I have no idea. I actually looked at the astrology again. I looked at two of them. Repeat it again because I looked at it last week and I looked at it last night. And one of the astrologers was basically saying how some Virgos are going to be coming across meeting people basically the exact same way that this card said it, meaning coming across important people or people in a way that, but I think we've talked about that. I think we talked about how people will come into your life and this will be more so of like a catalyst or change because there's someone who will come in here and help you. And oh yeah, we have been saying that. Interesting. I just not thought about that. I almost let that slide. Meeting with a stranger could be important. Yes. Yes. So you haven't even met this person yet. Okay, whoever this person is going to be very important and it's going to change the trajectory, which is what we've been talked about, of the way your life basically is going to go. Now, this could be romantically. We've talked about that before, how romantically sometimes people come in here and they just pour into you. And it could be anything. Okay, so like I said, I want to leave that part kind of open because I'm not really sure what that would mean, but this actually looks pretty decent. Okay. Now, the next card that's coming out here is crib. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is one thing I was I was so serious. I was so shocked to see this in Virgo's astrology. I was shocked. I remember I started saying this literally Like, I think I started saying this about like in the beginning part of 2025. I remember starting to say it because I was like, that's interesting. I remember one of our very own here is what we'll call her. She was actually pregnant at the time, but then I had started to see it. Okay. Now, for some of you, we will say this is a birth of a business. We've already talked about that. We know that that's coming out very heavy in the reading. Birth of ideas. Okay, but this is actually showing that there is a conception as far as children. Okay, so if you guys are at this place where you've been wanting a child, you've been thinking about another child. Okay, some of you guys has already happened because remember, you're on different timelines. But if you've been wanting another one or just wanting children in general, this looks like this is going to be a really good time for y'all. Okay, so I have been seeing kids coming out a lot. And it says it, birth or concept of a child or enterprise. This is in the future, y'all. I specifically said future. I specifically said it. I specifically said future. So that is what I'm saying. Now, what if you say, I don't know how all of this is going to happen. I don't know how any of this is going to happen. I don't know how to even begin, how to start. I don't know any of that. Well, this card says you will be shown the way. We talked about the whole Neptune energy that would kind of have like this fogginess, okay, that could be going on with you guys right now. This uncertain of, how to move. I love it. It says you will be shown the way. This card almost fell when I pulled. You could be feeling tied down or frustrated. And this is the reason why this is coming out. You will be shown the way. There's a candle there, which is really, really good. I will say you had a pretty good set of cards. If you ask me, I think that your cards were actually pretty solid. Okay, they look pretty good to me. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into, we're only going to get 3 cards here for tarot. I'm trying to figure out which deck I want to use though. Let me see. I think this deck is a little bit more illustrative. Let's see what comes out here for Virgo. Let's see what's showing. This is for Virgo. Let's see what's coming out here for Virgo. I don't know why on my freaking computer, I am so far behind. I'm looking at myself and I still got cards showing in the camera, my hand, like I'm still showing cards. I don't know why I'm so freaking behind. Hold on, let me refresh. What in the world is going on with YouTube? Like, they are like being a team too much for me. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see what's coming out here. This is going to be for Virgo. Okay, past energy, right? So we got the Queen of Swords and we have, I think this was the Page of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Two of Swords. Okay. I want to kind of use this energy as lessons. So we're going to say we're going to move forward. Yes, these are the things that have happened in the past, but moving forward, these are the things that you're going to do. Now, let's start with this Page of Wands. Looking at this Page of Wands, I always pay attention to pictures. This is the whole point of this, because you guys like pictures, right? Because it tells a story. Some of you guys may be suffering from eczema, okay? Or something dealing with the skin, all right? Maybe some of you guys had sunburn. Could have been dealing with something dealing with the skin. Maybe you guys have been trying to clear up some type of discoloration. This is hilarious. Why was I about to say the same thing that people be talking about on TikTok, which is hilarious? I was gonna say, oh, maybe you guys are trying to clear up discoloration in between, like in between the thighs, the inner thighs. Hilarious, okay? That could be something that you guys may be focusing on in the future, all right? All right, let's talk about it. So the Page of Wands here is making me feel that you have not experienced the deep things of life. So that goes back to the whole not discoloration, this dissatisfaction. I'm feeling dissatisfied because the page is a spark, right? And it's hitting everything else. Like I said before, it was just as fast as it came, it went. And that's the part that I don't like. All right. So just as just as fast as it came, it went. So when you look at this card, this is something that I'm pretty much kind of getting out of this. Just as fast as something that put a spark in you, made you feel good. It went really quickly. And you can tell just by the look on her face, she looks a little bit petrified, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this situation. I don't know. I also feel like she feels icky, like it's something about what you guys experienced may felt very like, I don't know, maybe you were dating someone that you didn't really like that. Maybe they kissed you or something like that. And you were like, ugh, okay, something that just completely turned you off. I do feel like it was something that just really turned you off about an individual person, maybe even a friend or something like that. You were just like, ugh, okay, because she just seems like she just completely turned off with this card. Just she feels icky. Okay. In relationships, for a lot of you, I just feel like it just didn't go that deep, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, it was just as fast as it came, it went. And we kind of get that whole energy here with this Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords basically says, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you away. And it's telling you why. Again, now I like this card if it's health-wise, if it's something dealing with the skin. Something this could be, now I don't usually, this is totally not my operation card, but because it's showing something on the skin, I don't know if you guys may have had something that needs to be removed. Okay, something that could have needed to be removed. Now, it doesn't have to be actual on the skin. It could be, in the body where you may have needed to get something removed. It may not have been such a major surgery, but for some of you guys, that could have been something that may have been or needed to be removed. Because to me, this could almost equate to her talking to her doctor. Okay, that's just something that I see. Or some of you guys where it's like, okay, this is starting to be frustrate me a little bit, starting to get to me, or it's just been a nuisance, been a problem, and I want this removed. Okay, it could be cosmetically, or it could be medically that you want something removed. Okay, or it was something that you guys did get removed, or you've already discussed it with your doctor, and it's going to be something that you guys will be doing. Okay, just saying. Yeah, but when it comes down to actual like love and stuff like that, the Queen of Swords basically was like, baby, you cut that off. Okay, you cut it off. You cut it off. All right. So I like this because whatever the nuisance is, it is going to be chopped off by the head. Okay. Now, the only reason why I say that is because, and I don't want to say it that way, but at first, when I first saw this card, I thought it was snakes right before I zoomed in on it. But that's what they say happened with snakes. Okay. So something is definitely going to be cut away here. And this could also be something dealing with your job, with contracts, or to do with how someone communicated with you, with your working career. I don't know. I'm just saying cut. Feels like Mars energy. Okay. Oh, could be cut communication. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe you guys stop talking to somebody. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, you guys do have the Two of Swords, which could possibly mean maybe you guys are thinking about another cosmetic procedure here with the Two of Swords, because she looks pretty young and youthful here. Okay. And that's making me believe that some of you guys are at a place where you may be cutting back on your sugars, cutting back on the things that you eat, that type of stuff. So you guys are cutting back in that way. Okay. Because you guys want to be charming and beautiful and all the other stuff. And some of you guys are being told to cut back on what? How much money you're spending. Forgot about that, right? You've been spending too much. You need to cut back. All right. Let's get your now card. Let's get one more. I like these cards. I'm telling you, my imagination be running wild with me too, but they be taking me there. Here, you guys got the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. We'll read that in a minute. Another card that's coming out here is the Hangman. Oh yeah, this is totally you. It's sitting on top of that whole dissatisfaction for life. That makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. All right. Next card that's coming out here is the Nine of Wands. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Here with the Nine of Wands and the Hangman. First of all, let's just talk about the Hangman. Hangman is, by all means, both Saturn and Neptune. They're just waiting. I was like, oh, my God. Remember we talked about the whole delay. You're like, oh, my God, I'm just being delayed. And it's mostly, if you're in the delay, it's waiting. If you're in the delay, it's waiting. So this is before I started even looking at astrology. I had no idea because I kept saying, what in the world? Like, why is delay kept coming out for Virgos? I could not figure it out. I'm like, this is just so weird to me because I'm seeing all these beautiful things and be happening for all the people I read for. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what? And Saturn had almost just entered into Pisces. Like it's I think it's like 2.5 like year rotation. And like, I'm sitting up here like, everything was clear. Everything was good. And then all of a sudden I just kept seeing this whole delay stuff. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, yeah, that was why, right? That was why. So this is also like that energy that we talked about with not just about the delay, more so waiting now, because it's gonna be moving in a few months. So we already know you're waiting for the sucker to get up out of there. Okay. But Neptune is there. So here it's like a delay, but it also, you see, if she's doing yoga, so it's like she's waiting for her moment of clarity, right? Which is what we've already talked about. She's waiting for her moment of clarity, but you're not quite there yet. So she's like doing everything she can to keep herself from mentally going over the edge, cracked up, right? Cracked cup. She's meditating, she's praying, right? She's doing all types of stuff, right? And some people didn't really make it out of these transits. Some people really didn't, okay? I mean, it was bad. Some people really experienced some really bad transits. Here with the Nine of Wands, it's the tired energy of waiting. It is the wounded energy that you feel. Now you feel wounded because got the crack up there. Now we talk about your emotions, maybe emotionally wounded, egos wounded, right? Your money in some way. That I mean, not necessarily the way I read. Technically, this would be kind of a good card, but your money has been wounded. You don't have the same money that you normally have, right? So at the present moment, things are just like not the best. You are coming, it's almost like you've already fought the battle and now you're observing the wounds, which is kind of what you see her doing in the beginning part of that reading, meaning with that tarot. You see how she was like looking at her arms, that type of stuff. So some of you guys are now reflecting back on what you've experienced. You're trying to figure out how you can fix it. You want to fix it. So the Nine of Wands is very reflective, and this is what she's actually doing. She's just kind of sitting there. She's praying, meditating, trying to manifest, that type of thing. That's what I'm saying that you guys are possibly doing. But this was the answer. Let me tell you, let me show you. This came out before. Did this not? You guys get this card all the time. There's other cards in this deck. Why are you guys constantly getting this champion card? She's triumphant over something. It's saying this is how far down you went. Because what does the Phoenix represent? The Phoenix represent literally ashes, gone, or what you consider to be gone, what you consider to be over. Okay, so I can tell you just based off of this card in general, it does look like this is like the people when they're walking out during the Olympics, right? They're coming out and they're champions, right? They're the best in the world. Okay, you could be considered in the future the best of something in the world. You're the best doctor, right? You won for this. You're the best. You had the highest score of that, right? You guys could be recognized as the best in something, but you had to overcome a lot. So in this moment, you guys are waiting for that moment. But you do have to do things in between because it's not. You see, she's upside down, right? The hangman just talks about delay, but she's active. Even with her, she's active. She may be by herself. She may be a little isolated, but she's doing whatever she can. Prayer, maybe going to church, whatever you guys consider to be your church or whatever. I still see some type of activity there, even if not. Now let's go ahead. Let's get future. This is going to be for Virgo. Let's get future here for Virgo. I'm only having a long read for y'all because I didn't do y'all read the other day. I did not. And I wasn't supposed to be on this long because I got too many reads to do. All right. Here you have Hierophant that's coming out at the bottom of the deck. Oh, you have the Three of Swords and you have the Four of Swords. Okay, now this is crazy because the 3 comes before the 4. So this is disappointment, heartbreak, and that is healing. And what came out was there it is again with this whole commitment. All right, so we got to go back. We got to talk about what we see. Some of y'all are going to have disappointments in the things that you put your heart and soul into. Okay? It's not saying it's going to happen in, next month or anything like that. But I personally feel like it's disappointments in some of the things that you guys work hard at. Doesn't mean that you're not going to succeed. No. It is what? It is expected. If you are, and I love that movie. What is that movie with Will Smith? And he was like that computer person. I always forget that movie. And I didn't even finish it. I didn't finish it because I felt so bad. I was like in my 20s, I think, when that movie came out. And I tried to watch it when I was like 20. I think it was before my son was even born. And for some odd reason, it just felt so bad. I felt so bad watching him struggle, trying to actually make something of his life. And just constantly kept being denied. Constantly kept just being denied, right? And I feel like it's not that you're going to be denied by no means, right? But it just feels like you're going to come across you're going to be moving forward. Things are going to be going pretty good. And it's like, you're going to come across something that's going to be like, damn, why didn't I get this? Or it's almost like you got a show, in one of the best, cities as far as theater, right? You got your accolades. Everybody know that you're such a good, showman, right? And you get hired for one show, or they say they're going to hire you, and they say, oh, you know what? We changed our mind, right? That would devastate you. You're like, oh my God. But instead, you guys get another offer that's better than that. Okay. So it's almost like the universe is going to be still directing you in the future. Like some things that you think is a failure really wouldn't be. The only reason why I would say that, and y'all already know, I don't placate to nobody. I don't placate to nobody, even myself. I do not placate. Pursuit of happiness. The only reason why I even said that it would be something else is because of that Four of Swords came out with it. I don't think that I would have said that. I would be like, well, it just looks like you may have just been experiencing some type of disappointment. It doesn't mean that you don't have anything. It just means that in the future, unfortunately, you're going to be experiencing some shit that you don't necessarily want to experience. But then the healing card came out. So now we understand that something else is happening. Okay? Realistically, you are going to be facing certain things and coming across certain people that will hurt you. Okay? Whether it has something to do with them breaking their promises with business, work, and career. You may fail your nursing exam once. You may fail something dealing with law, right? I was laughing at the whole Kim Kardashian thing. She was just like, they said I came across the best psychics and all of them said that I was going to pass, right? And one of the astrologers was like, that's so funny because you could easily tell in her astrology that she wasn't going to pass her fucking exam, right? She didn't come from the best, right? She thought she did, but she didn't, right? That's the reason why you have to do it with astrology. I don't play that mess. But anyway, you may have periods where you may think something will go a certain way and it will not. But the healing came after it. So that's how you know something is working out. You get what I'm saying? That healing came out with it. It was like, disappointments, but healing. This is not an open wound. This is not anything that's just going to stay open like that. Universe is like, I got you. I get it. I'm going to go ahead and patch this up for you real quick. Now, this is going to happen even in love. Okay. There's going to be different people that you guys most likely will date. And, they're going to be disappointing. I don't necessarily see you guys being pick-me's though moving forward. I feel like you guys have been in this energy already where you're not openly exposing yourself to somebody. It's like you may like the person, but you're not going to be, goo goo gaga the way you were before. I don't see it. I just don't see where you're going to be like, oh, I'm just so, like you may feel it a little bit, but you won't even take it that far. I don't see you being as open, okay, when it comes down to your heart. I feel like there's a very guarded energy here with you. I just don't see it. I don't see y'all putting a whole bunch of effort into anything with somebody that you digging. You be like, oh no, I'll give you just enough. I'm going to give you, because this is an attitude, really. It doesn't even have to be a feeling. It's an attitude. It's like, I'm just going to give you just enough. I'll give you just enough because I got to protect myself. Now, this is sitting on top of this whole target, handshake, and crib. You are going to have disappointments with certain things that you are aiming for, but you're going to be healed. Handshakes, there are going to be people along the way that's going to help you too. Like I said before, totally see that. Totally see. There's other people, you know, coming towards you. And then again, this higher saying contracts. Okay, I don't know what kind of contracts. Like I said, this is going to be in love and money, I feel. I really do feel that way. I really do. And it's, again, it goes back to that card that says, if you are confused. If you are confused, you won't be. We talked about that. Or if you don't know. The Two of Swords that we saw earlier, we talked about the Two of Swords, and you're like, I don't know which way to go. Here, this card specifically said, before we even got to it, it says, you will be shown the way. The Hierophant is a faith card. Have faith that things will go your way. Okay? I'm going to admit, like, you know, Virgos, we've been having some really, and again, I did not know why our readings were so rough. I really didn't. The three major signs that I latched to before I even start to do astrology were the major signs that have been affected. I haven't done Gemini, unfortunately, and I should have, because Gemini was getting effed up too. I'm sorry. Like, Gemini was kind of getting jacked. Not really, not Gemini. Yeah, Gemini. Gemini was getting affected by Neptune and Saturn. They definitely were. In Sagittarius. So you see what I'm saying? So it was and I just wasn't doing Pisces, because Pisces I was doing it a little bit, but Pisces were being conjuncted. So it wasn't like they were just like being hurt too bad. They weren't the ones that was getting it. Scorpios in some way was getting it a little bit too, but that Uranus energy with Taurus, it was sitting on what would be considered your first house, which is your nervous system, which is, you know, your body, and it had them all over the place. So every sign that I did were experiencing these major ass planets. Okay, this is what was happening. So even here with the Hierophant is basically saying, moving forward, please have faith that things will get better. Okay, moving forward, you will be okay. Now I'm going to leave off with one card for you guys today. I apologize that I didn't do your reading the other day. I apologize about that. I'm trying to figure out which card deck do I want to use, though. Let me see. I'm going to use this one. Let's see. Oh my God, it is hot in here. What is going on? All right. This is for Virgo. Ooh, look at that. That's a beauty. We're going to read that in a minute. Look at what popped out. Look at the card that actually popped out here for y'all. Revision. Now, usually on Twitter, I usually write your yearly theme. I haven't been on Twitter in forever. It's barely nothing on there anymore. Like it's all old now. I mean, it's not old, but I'm not on Twitter. So what I want to do, I probably will put it inside of the community, but I was practicing. I did Virgos and I think I did Pisces. I don't know why I did Pisces, but I did Pisces. And here, revision was one of the words that came out in that oracle. So I can tell you for a fact that this is going to be something that you guys are definitely going to experience. But I want to read it because it says, it's time to review, renew, and take a second look at your circumstances, right? This is what it's saying. Revision is needed for your situation. It has to be. It has to be. We've talked about that. Certain places you cannot stay. Like certain things, you cannot be in the same place anymore. Universe is like, I'm not having it. Like we can't be doing this. Okay? Something needs to change. So it says, you don't have all the facts or information. There it is. You need the clarity. You don't know everything yet. Okay. It says you need to, though. This is dotting all the I's and stuff, crossing the T's. It says don't rush the process because mistakes can be made. We just talked about that. It says, but changes made now will save time and energy later. Things will be changing. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. Things will be changing for you. Okay, that's the whole revision. Now, I love the fact that you guys literally had the wish fulfillment. Oh my God. You guys have experienced so much loss. So much loss. Oh, okay, whatever that is. Oh, it's been horrible. Here, it says, but this is a positive omen of happy endings. It says this could symbolize good health. We talked about that. Happy family life. We talked about that. Love, financial freedom, growth, and what? Renewal. So now we're talking about the revision. We're saying renewal. Everything is re. It's like renovating the house. Okay? It's like this old house has just been old, been beat up, it's been abandoned, right? Everything that you guys probably feel about yourself, you feel abandoned. You're tired of the old ways, this old way of living, right? And so here the universe is like, okay, we're going to go in here, we're going to rehab it. Okay, we're going to modernize you. Okay, this is what this is saying. Here it says this could represent a culmination of your hard work. Exactly. Because what does Saturn do? It rewards you for what? Your efforts and good intentions. That's what Saturn does. No matter how much you didn't want to do it, you did it anyway. And it rewards you. It says healing from suffering has come. The sun is shining on you. Rest, eat well, celebrate your milestone. We just read. Everything that you are targeting for, you are going to be able to achieve. It is different for everybody. It's different. Not everyone here has the same desire. You don't have the same wish. Because I know for a fact, there's the fact of having kids for some Virgos is like, excuse me, don't ever put that on me. And then you have some Virgos, they're just like, they want it so bad, right? So it depends on what it is that you are wanting. But I love it. This is a really good reading. Thank you, Virgo. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I may come back on later today. I do have to leave out the house for a second. I got a lot to do today. I got a lot to do today. You guys already know we're like 2 days away before most people are going to be with their family. So I have a lot to do today. And I have a reading. I think I have a reading. Yeah, I do. I have a reading later on today. So what I want to do, I want to come back and actually do a love reading with some newer cards. With cards I'm pretty sure I haven't used in a while. So I want to at least try to see if I could come back for that. So just make sure you guys have your notification bell on. Make sure you're subscribed, okay? And we're going to be going in for the next 2 days before I kind of ghost or disappear, okay? I don't even know if I want to do that because Christmas time, for some odd reason, people stream a lot at Christmas. I may not be at home during the time, but we'll see. All right, thank you guys. We're going to be doing next. We're going to do Taurus. We got Sagittarius. I don't know which order, and maybe Capricorn. So we'll see. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you.